We've been talking about food and culture all day, so we're going to bring Lori McCarthy in here now. And if you don't know about Lori, I think a lot of folks do, but food culture place, cultural food ambassador, educator, storyteller, and author, and amazing rubber boot wearer. Come on in. Those are great.
Thanks. Well, it's the 10-month footwear of Newfoundland.
Yes, it really is.
All season, footwear.
One of my favorite shows I've done for The Signal was when we were in your garage and we cooked fish tacos on a wood stove. So what have you been up to since then?
Well, lots of changes. We are now in Mobile, which is 45 minutes south, up to shore. So right in the heart of the Irish Loop. We have 3 acres down there. We have a yurt that was like this beautiful, cozy Canadian-built yurt. And that's where we do all our workshops now. So, yeah, it's a lot of changes, and it's really awesome. It's such a special place.
Yeah, I mean, you had me at yurt. Tell us about the workshops.
Yeah, so this year, listen to you guys talk about all the giving spirit and the sort of giving back. We're really focusing on the crafts at risk this year. So for people who don't know, food and foodways, wild food preservation, that was listed on the Heritage Newfoundland Labrador's Craft at Risk document that came out, I think it was 2021. So, of course, that's always been the focus of my work. And now I'm just branching out to think about all those other skills that are at risk. Once the skills of here in our culture start being listed as endangered and critically endangered, is sort of doesn't sit well, right? So we're focusing on some of those crafts at risk. So that looks like, well, this weekend coming up, which there's still space available, we have Sarah Hannon coming in, and she's a Two-Spirit Mi'kmaq. She's coming in to teach Indigenous beading. We have someone coming in to teach sealskin mittens. I teach basket weaving now too. So that series will continue throughout the year. And we're really looking to get into the schools and community groups this year. And so we also host just an open workshop space at no cost. They're all truly designed to involve community. So it breaks down that financial barrier. We take 6 people on Sundays from 1 to 4, and it is come and bring whatever you do and hang out with us.
In the food culture space, when I think of Newfoundland and Labrador, when I think of a lot of the food culture that has existed, some stuff has been lost. When you look at young people that you're going to be around, those students, what do you see for the importance of, why preserve the food culture that has existed in the past? What's its importance for the future?
I think that, while it might sound cliche, but if we don't know where we come from, I'm not sure we can have much direction on where we're going. I truly believe that in order to take care of the land, the people, the communities, and culture, we really need to understand what built it. And here I subscribe to that what built us today are those crafts, those skills, those food ways. That's kind of what built us. So I just encourage the young people the more they get involved, the more opportunities for them to understand here. I grew up in that generation of Leaf Newfoundland. There's nothing here left for you during the cod fishery. And it was because that generation loved us, right? They wanted better. And now the story needs to change. The story has changed. And, part of the work I do is that this is your culture, embrace it. And, and to the next generation.
Yeah, culture and food, it's not a box of nuggets shipped down from the mainland. There's a time and place for that. It could be Thursday night at my house, but that's not culture.
Yeah, I mean, we have to think about culture as a moving, changeable, changing, growing thing. Like it has life of its own, right? And it is up to all of us to breathe new life into it, from our Indigenous cultures to our, the Association of Canadians. Like, our food culture is changing. And that's the point of what makes culture, is bringing all those people together. And, you've interviewed people here today. It's like, that's what makes culture, and it's always changing. And being aware that it's not about being historically accurate, it's about who we are today as people and who we want to be in the future.
Yeah, and when you preserve the foraging element of it, right? When you preserve the curing element of it, and then you get guys who are like, you know what, we want to do Newfoundland-inspired Thai food, that can merge together into something which is a new part of the culture, and you move forward.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about.
I can learn.
You're in. You bought in though, like your travel and your love of food and culture and you travel, like that is a lot of what people travel here for, and they want to experience all of it, right? It's what makes us who we are. Yeah.
Thanks for this. If people remind folks now, if they do want to learn more, how do they find out about you?
Foodcultureplace.ca.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Thank you. You too.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.